because of that, we shall be referring to two books. And these two books by very specific researchers. The first one, which we will not deal with in this posting, was crafted and researched by Fergus Shaman. The title is Linguistic Ties Between Ancient Egyptian and Bantu, subtitled Uncovering Symbiotic Affinities and Relationships in Vocabulary Between the Hieroglyphics and Bantu Languages. And we also want to refer to Professor Dr. Gustav Kativ, that we referred in a video where we proved that ancient Hebrew is similar to modern Bantu languages, spoken specifically in Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Mozambique, Botswana, and Malawi. We proved that in a video that we posted that deals with that. And also we have got a scholar, Dr. Joseph Caster, who will deal with a few things that we need to put in place so that those that are coming to ancient Egypt and learning in ancient Kush must be aware of the nouns and words they meet, because of what happened with the plagiarizers who transmitted this knowledge to our civilization today. These plagiarizers are the Greeks. And the Greeks murdered and continues to murder our ancient ancestors via translations and mistranslations that they have given us. Much sympathy is to be extended to the many interested persons who, in their endeavors and struggles to understand ancient Egyptian history, religion, and the related subjects, will find various names cropping up with transliterations. And you will find a name like Re or Ra rendered in those terms. You find a person like Akhenaton or Ekhenaton, sometimes spelled as Ikhenaton. And of course, one who is in such a situation is justifiably entitled to his confusion. The reason is that, according to Joseph Caster, is that it has long been decided among Egyptologists that since we do not know the vowels, the only thing to do in order to pronounce the words is to insert A or E, the vowels that are thought to be of greatest frequency in European languages, in the names of ancient Egypt. What we must remember is that the ancient Egyptians never used vowels. They used consonants. So Egyptologists agreed in their symposiums and meetings that they would use the vowel A or E so that they can be able to read these words. Honestly speaking, such an approach was done because it is a Euro-based Egyptology. It has nothing to do with the ancient Africa. And therefore, it is important for me again to highlight that scholars like Shannon Fergus, whom I referred to, Fergus Shaman and Gustav Kativ, these scholars become handy to a person who seriously wants to understand ancient Egypt in its original state and the most probable and possible language of ancient Egypt. And therefore, I can conclude that ancient Egyptian and ancient hieroglyphics is easily understood if you understand any Bantu language. So, as Egyptologists agreed that they would use E or A because it is the vowel of greatest frequency in European languages, between the consonants, a most logical and somber procedure thus produces various words with various meanings. So I'll give an example. A word that is found in ancient Egypt spelled with these consonants, NFR, would be rendered as Nefe, would be rendered as Nofa, would be rendered as Nifu, would be rendered as Nafa, or even Nefe. Now, That alone kills it and destroys it. But that word NFR is known to mean good. And I want to tell you that that name is easily Nafara. Nafara. It might mean wide. It means happy. It renders its context correctly without any shadow of doubt. So, we have a number of royal names then rendered in Greek. And in their various Greek renderings, these names completely distort the original textual meaning. The other principle that we should throw in here is that ancient Egyptian, Ethiopic, or Bantu languages, no name had no meaning. Each name had meaning. It meant something. It was therefore a verb. Nouns were verbs. There were no nouns that stand on their own. Take a noun like miti for trees. It is also a verb because it means healing. It has that a verbal connection with it because it was an action word. Now, the Greeks had quite a cavalier attitude to all foreign names and absolutely murdered them. Therefore, the name of the ancient Egyptians, royalties, and other various important people today are completely meaningless if we follow the Greeks. Now consider the following names that I shall give here. Whether the name Jessa or for us it would be Jesseri or Jessa for a bird. Consider the name Jose or Zosa in Greek. The name would be Jose, which means all. He was the prime minister. Consider even the popular Cheops. There is nothing like that. Cheops for us would be Khufu, which is also Kufa, which is also Akufa, which is similar even if you go to West Africa. The name Chefren or Pharaoh Kefren, there's nothing like that. For us, it would be Kafireni, who died for me, or Kafara, Kafarani, which means wider, like me. Or consider Menkaure, Simanekaura. It's same. Horemeb, it's Horemeb. Nebsen is Nevsen, because Nevseni or Uvuseni, he wrote wisdom writings which were to understand themselves and to understand life. And then the ancient Egyptians understood a number of astronomical figures and stars. One of them was the star Sirius, which they called Sebdet, rendered Sebdet today by our Greeks. For us, it is Sedete, which is thin, far and thin. A name also for army, which for an army is Buto, which is similar in Bantu languages for an army. And the god or Geb, earth, for us it would be Guvu, or it means soil or earth. Or Capri would be Kepiri, which means he who comes twice. And the popular Imhotep, who is reputed to have been a very wise person, a wise man in those times, who was into medical healing, who was also a healer, who was also a philosopher. For us, it would be Imhotep, which means mist has come, which means he has come with the spirit Imhotep. And then we have a name for in ancient Egyptian now rendered as Seka, S-K-R, by and now Seka, S-E-K-E-R, by Greeks. For us, this would be Sekuru, which would be grandfather or grand ancestor. And there will be context. The context would mean everything. Now let's come to the ancient god or ancient powerful name Amen-Ra. Many of us say Amen-Ra, Amen-Ra. There's nothing like that. Those are names, that is a name coined by the Euro-Egyptologist who decided that between these consonants they will use either A or E. Why? Because those were simple vowels which were popular in their languages, in European languages. That's wrong. So Amen-Ra, his proper name would be Emene Ra or Manera, which means the ladder, which means the rays of the ladder. And the name Ra would be Ria, Emeneria, Ria, which means that one whom we cannot know. Emene or Omene or Amene or Umene, which means he alone. He is one. There is no one. Ameneria. Ameneria runs. He alone is alone. You have to rise. You have to go through ladders to come up to him. Consider again the name that you call Horus. There is nothing like Horus. It's Hore, which means the clouds, which means the sky, which means the heavens. Hore, which means one who floats above in the heavens. Then Hore Makut, which is Makut is good, the meaning is there. Let's come to Osiris, which given before. Osiris is a simple and straightforward. Osoro, which means the heavenly one, which means the head, which means above. And then come about Isis, which means Isis, which means Isis, which means earth, which is our mother. Isis, which means pregnant, which means that is our mother, where we come. It drives us to our maternal mother. Now, this or what I have said here is just the beginning. We are just cracking the code here. We are just trying to open a little bit. And I want to repeat and to go back and say, once we understand what Joseph Custer has said here, that it was long ago decided among Egyptologists that since we do not know the vowels, the only thing to do in order to pronounce the word is to insert A or E, the vowels of greatest frequency in European languages, between the consonants. That if you understand that, you have to throw away all the names of the gods that you have been given. You have to throw away all the names of the pharaohs that you have been given. Then you have to understand and come back to uncover the symbiotic affinities and relationship between ancient hieroglyphics and Bantu language. And that alone will open a wider sphere and introduce you to a wider original spirit. I want to thank you for taking time to listen to this video. And I also invite you that there is going to be a part 2 that will deal with this, to show the relationship between ancient hieroglyphics, the pictorial language of ancient Egypt, with Bantu languages. Thank you.